Newly uncovered emails show then Vice President Biden's office worked to cover up a Bloomberg News story about Hunter just days after the New York Times published a report on his dealings in Ukraine.
In an email to Vice President Biden's comms director, Kate Bedingfield, Hunter Biden's business associate Eric Schwerin asked, quote, "You saw New York Times article. Any follow-up on it?" Bedingfield responded, quote, "VP just finished an interview with the Bloomberg reporter traveling with us, and she asked about it, though she assures me she's doing everything she can not to use it." Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee is here to react. Governor, thank you so much for being with us. You know, obviously, it's very concerning that this government office had such a cozy relationship, it seems, with the media and the FBI. What do you think?
Well, I think that as a person who was in politics for a long time in elected office, I would love to have been able to tell reporters, hey, why don't you just put ice on this story and let's not go with it, because it would really make me look bad. Don't we all wish we had reporters who would just do our bidding? This is outrageous. Journalism is dead, and Donald Trump was right. The media has become our enemy, and that's a sad thing, because we need a fair, responsible press to tell us what's really happening. It's the best way that we protect our entire country and democracy. I wish the Washington Post motto of "democracy dies in darkness" would somehow be revived by some of these people.
Yeah, we need a non-politicized media. We also need a non-politicized FBI. Now the New York Post is reporting that Hunter Biden used a mole within the FBI named One Eye, because of course, who alerted Hunter and his Chinese business partners about any federal investigations. Governor, how can we trust the FBI to not be politicized, to not be so pro-Biden and anti-conservative when we get a drip, drip, drip like this seemingly every week or month now?
Well, Todd, the truth is we can't trust the FBI anymore, and that's really pathetic, isn't it? I mean, this is an agency we need to have confidence in, and we don't. We've seen how corrupt they are, how politicized, how weaponized, and this whole story. I mean, the New York Post did a magnificent job on this story, and there's one particular piece of it where they say that there was an Asian, an African, and a Jew that One Eye tells them that are all involved in this. It sounds like the beginning of a joke somewhere. But it's not a joke. This is serious. And it shows that Hunter Biden was making and manipulating multi-million-dollar deals with the Communist Chinese Party. If you made this into a movie, people would say, yeah, it's not credible. It's just, there's too many twists and turns. You've got these Chinese characters named Ho and Yi, and you've got an Israeli, Dr. Luft, who's involved, and he gets charged with gun running, even though he said he's never dealt with arms, but the U.S. puts him in prison for a while. I mean, there's so many crazy things about how this is going down, and the press, once again, and I blame them, because they just turn, well, let me say this, they turn one eye away from the whole story.
Nicely done.
That was a good one. And now to this, we are expecting the Trump grand jury to reconvene today after Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg abruptly canceled yesterday's hearing. And Bragg's facing pushback over his case to indict Trump, with one source claiming, quote, the district attorney is having trouble convincing the grand jury on potential charges due to the weakness of the case. Your thoughts, Governor?
Well, if you cannot get an indictment of Donald Trump in New York, where they hate him, run by the most partisan left-wing Democrats, then maybe it's time for us to say, let's move on to something else. Here's the tragedy. We've just been talking about serious criminal activity, stuff that ought to be investigated. What's Alvin Bragg doing? He's going after Donald Trump for something that even the most astute legal scholars like Alan Dershowitz says, there's nothing there. Yeah. This is ridiculous. It's time for Alvin Bragg to put up or shut up.
And it's a huge
embarrassment.
And
it's also, I wish some of those, and I wish some of the people in this office would walk away.
Gotta run. Thanks, Governor.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.